Hey everybody, it's Captain Adonis, and I'm playing Interstellar Rift. I'm actually in the ship design module right now, and I just completed the ISS Enterprise NX-01. This was featured in the Mirror Mirror type episode in Star Trek. I'm going to give you a brief tour of each deck. So what I did is I found these blueprints online at cygnus-x1.net. So let me give you a tour of each deck. Starting off with E deck. So on E deck, every deck has a sign that tells you what's on that deck. So E deck, it has on it medical. It also has battery storage. And it's got an aft torpedo room and a disposal unit off to the side. I have a little bit extra space if I ever wanted to add anything else to the ship right in there right off the bat. So that's everything on E deck. We're going to drop down a deck. We're going to drop up a deck and go to D deck. What I've done is I put a transporter on every deck. So there's no way to get from one deck to the other without using a transporter. So it's kind of like a turbo lift. So this is kind of like the main deck that everybody would be working with. We have two cargo bays. We have a standard or starboard cargo and a port cargo. As you can see, we've got the main transporter room right there. Okay, we've got engineering. We've got life support and fuel storage and a computer room. Oh, and nope, there's one more room. Way back here, there's an observation deck. Now, like I said, these plans are to scale. I cut out of a lot of stuff that, like I said, is superfluous. So, next deck up, C deck. C deck is a very short deck. All it's got on it is fabrication. Didn't need all the other stuff that was on C deck. So that's all that's here. Next deck up is B deck. B deck, there's only one thing on B deck, and it's all the way in the back. And it's basically a turbo lift that goes right to the aft cannons. It's the only aft cannon we have. Forward cannons are on the outside of the ship. And I'll show you that when we go back to the outside rendering. Next deck up is the bridge. Bridge is set up very much like the bridge in the NX-01. I tried to, at least if I was going to design a room, to make it very similar. All right, so we stopped at D deck. So go down to the next deck lower, which is F deck, which is the forward torpedo, port and starboard torpedo launchers. They also have their torpedo room storage, and that's all that's on this deck. G deck is the next one down, and this one is one that I added in because every ship, in Interstellar Rift needs to have ore processing and an ore extractor. And then I put in a teleporter so you can transport the ore around to where you need it to. It's the best way to refuel your ship. That's actually it for the outside, except for the nacelles. So the warp nacelles do not have access to them. They each have 2 engines and it looks like 3 power generators on each nacelle, and there's room for more power generators if you need them. But right now, we've tested this out in flight. It gets maximum warp, and it turns pretty good. When we go to the outside rendering, we'll just do a quick outside scan. And there it is. You see there's the 2 front two sets of ion cannons for the front. Those are operated by the pilot only. I do have some solar panels, just so it provides a basic charge. So when you first get to it, you've got something to open doors and operate the transporters. I did do a couple of neat little tricks here. I put all these thrusters in the back and down below, and I added a couple of little thrusters there. And I found that that just wasn't enough. With the big engines and these two thrusters, it wasn't enough. It moved at like 30 meters per second. So I'm getting 94 meters per second and a turn radius or a turn rotation of 10, which is pretty good. But I added a little secret compartment here. Let's see if I can get into it. Yep, there it is. So basically what I did is added some engines on the back side of the computer core. It's hidden inside the saucer section, but in a sense, there it is, the ISS Enterprise NX-01. Really wish we had lettering so I could put that on the front of the ship. Oh yeah, and in the torpedo room, I actually added a couple extractors. So once you kill something, you can collect that salvage. All right, please leave some comments, design comments. I already had one that I should have used more triangle pieces, but geometry is not my thing. This is my first ship, so be gentle. But if you want it, it's on the Steam Workshop. This is Captain Adonis, and I'm out.